Peace. It's Travis Well. It's Pure Sound Daily Business. I used to always wonder, and I still do, just why people do what they do. What are the thoughts that they have that make people move the way they move? And the biggest piece recently that I've gotten was to understand the mechanics of our thoughts. We have ideas and experiences we've taken in and held on to. Then we judge whether or not they make us calm or agitated, or we feel pleasant or unpleasant. And while we're unconscious with a dirty mind, then we take whatever makes us agitated or whatever we feel is unpleasant, and we won't move past that. Compared to growth and development is being able to push through what makes us agitated and what we find unpleasant to get to and flip the whole thing to make it calm and pleasant. So understanding this is crucial because it is literally how all of us are processing the world. And when we're seeking to understand others, because everything you want lies with another person. And you can either lie to them or you can be right and upstanding. A lot of different names for it: persuasion, motivation, manipulation, tricks, carrot and stick, help. Whole lot of different words. And I like to boil things down to it's literally what's going on within us. Literally what's going on when we're talking about what is going on in our mind. What our brains are doing to get our bodies moving. And in understanding that, other people do things for their reasons. And you can begin to see how someone, literally the definition of what a dirty mind is having a lot of ideas and experiences that they've taken in and held on to that are useless, that aren't moving them forward, that aren't uplifting them, that aren't serving them in a positive way. They're not growing, they're not developing. And usually that is because at some point, right, we all have had some level of traumatic experiences in our lives, some definitely more than others. At some point, you're an adult. At some point, it's on you to do better for yourself. And if you're stuck in a state of anything that agitates you and everything that you find unpleasant, you can't move past that. You make a judgment about it and don't move to, well, let me put it the other way, and it doesn't move you. It keeps you where you're at. It keeps you complaining. It keeps you pacifying yourself. It keeps you trying to get comfortable. Because it's being righteous can keep you comfortable. Pointing at other people, saying what they're doing, that means you don't have to do anything. And you get a calming effect from that. You get a pleasantness from that. That can be comforting for us. And we start to get in dopamine, serotonin. But it all starts with how we're judging our experiences and our ideas. So I assume you're here looking for something, looking to do some business as a profit or a nonprofit, business in your personal life, your family life, in your community, and that you need to understand yourself so you can understand others. And that this is how we're all processing information. I always found it very interesting that when there is in systems, especially our body systems, our mental systems, is that when you unlock, okay, this is how the process works, and yet everyone does it differently, or everyone has different information. Everyone has a different experience of life. So however much we know the process, everyone on this planet is using that process differently. Then there are other times where it's the reverse. It's we all have a different process, but the other thing is the same, so to speak. But that's outside of my expertise. I'm touching on, for you being a leader of yourself and you being a leader of others, is to first have a knowledge of yourself. And giving yourself, really the best way to give yourself grace is to put in the work. Once you start working, you tend to give other people grace. Except, of course, if you're on a team and you want to uplift everyone, then it's like, we got to push each other. But that's a different situation. But I've really been focused in on how knowing personality type, knowing this information, has literally kept me sane. Because I know how other people's minds work. I know why you're struggling. I know why you keep doing the same thing over and over again. And it's the same reason we all do. Because it's more comfortable to stay where we at. And it's not as painful to stay where we at than to make a change. And when we're talking in the words we're using here, the pain of change is really what we find agitating and what we find unpleasant. And of course, there's various degrees to that unpleasantness and that agitation. And when we're really doing something new, such as starting a business, becoming a leader, it can really be jarring to the system, because if you haven't been on this journey for a while, if you haven't been working that muscle, this means it's the first time you worked it. It's literally you just decided to walk into the gym and start bench pressing or start squatting. And if you don't know what you're doing, which who of us does? None of us. We just start walking. Then it opens a lot of stuff up emotionally. It opens a lot of stuff up physically. Shines a mirror on ourselves. Shines a window and a mirror and a magnifying glass on others. And we just got to learn to keep it pushing. And to know that once we push past the agitation, once we push past the unpleasantness, there's calm and pleasantness on the other side. So what, again, are you trying to do? Where do you want to be? And are you willing to push through the agitation and the unpleasantness to get to where you want to be? Which is that good old calm and pleasant satisfaction of accomplishment. It's Travis Soda Well. It's Pure Sound Daily Business. Peace.